I'm Joyce Hornady. You might say accuracy is my business. I make bullets.
You are listening to the Hornady Podcast.
Thanks for joining us and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Hornady Podcast. I'm your host, Seth Swerczek, and today, full table. Around the table, all marketeers, Preston Lentfer, Matt Ritchie, Judd Jarzynka. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, it is.
It's our pleasure.
Bucks are chasing. Weather not cooperating quite so much. Big bucks are hitting the ground. It is that time of year.
According to the experts.
Judd?
Well, the people Judd and I follow, the big mature bucks have probably already bred a doe. Maybe they're second, and they're on the move.
Yeah,
looking
prowling
for another.
Well, we're a couple Moultrie men, as it turns out. We got the Moultrie cameras out there on the lease, and there is a big buck, arguably, this morning.
You guys that are listening missed an entire discussion on whether this buck is decent or a stud. Anyway, very, very
Suffice
shootable.
it to say, the shootable deer is on the prowl.
Now,
1:28 in the PM.
Yeah,
Midday.
Yep, you'd missed him if you got out of the stand to take a nap.
I
Get
got
some little Debbies.
Yeah.
Yep.
looking for another doe. We each saw deer. All of us commute to work, I guess. So
I saw some deer right out here.
Yeah. We saw some on the way to work. A buck had a doe pushed out in the middle of an open field. So
I had that 2 days
Things are
ago.
happening.
We know what's about to happen there. This is all great stuff. It's the time of year that obviously we live for, but all of our listeners are living for as well. Deer season, the fall, and I say deer season just as a generality of the deer are out running amok. Weather's changing. There's elk hunts going on, mule deer, whitetail, antelope hunts, late antelope hunts. It's all just great fun. And to do those hunts, you got to have your equipment ready. So this is installment number 2 of At the Bench, at the reloading bench, at the gunsmithing bench, and at the shooting bench. And you guys have gotten a bunch of stuff ready. Matt, I think you've probably been turning more wrenches on guns than I think anybody in the shop.
Yeah, I've been playing a heck of a shell game, moving this scope to here, taking it out of a cantilever mount, putting it in rings, re-zeroing this rifle. Yeah, it's been a fun time.
So, Matt, I gave this big intro about hunting and stuff. I don't even think you're rifle hunting this year in Nebraska.
Well, I might. I got a nephew that's just getting into it, my brother, so we probably go and try and get him a deer. But
you'll be out looking for coyotes, of course.
Yep.
So tell us, what kind of rifle swaps have you been doing? Because you went from 0 to 60. It was like a bomb went off of very expensive rifle parts.
Yeah, I got back from the PRS finale, and I got a new stock on the way, and it's just like, okay, that action's coming out of this stock, and it's going in this one, and
what's the deets?
Yeah, I have a Kelby Atlas tactical action. That's been one of my primary PRS rigs. Gonna take that out. It became a hunting rifle, and it got a different barrel put on it, and then a nice banner stock.
Because it had a friggin' truck axle.
Oh yeah, it was a 26-inch full straight contoured Gucci, preferred barrel blank, or it was a pre-fit, pre-fit from in 6.5 Creedmoor. Had an MDT chassis. Shot the finale with it.
MDT ACC. Be specific now.
ACC, yep. The first gen one, not the newest one.
Yeah.
You say you pulled the action. You're out.
Yep.
New barrel. What'd you put on for a new tube?
It was a Ballistic Advantage 6.5 Creedmoor that one of our other marketeers took off of a gun he got in and re-barreled it.
Factory barrel off
factory barrel.
Aerosolus.
Aerosolus. Had to cut the tenon off, rethread it, because Kelby's uses 18 TPI for their tenons, which is no big deal. There was enough there to do that.
No big deal. Remington uses 16. Everyone else in the custom world uses 20.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Well, so they shot the gap.
Yeah. Hey, 18, split the difference and call it a day. So you said you put it in a new stock.
Yeah. Got a Manners, their new folder stock, and that thing is
So this is the
sweet.
The Manners, and I'll get the letters right, but it's the PH base, foldable, adjustable comb.
Oh, my goodness. Everybody needs one.
Molded in Arca rail, Piccadilly rail on the front. It's great. It's just got all of it, all the flush cups. It's a sweet thing. My buddy Matt Walker there hooked me up. It was pretty nice of him to do that. So
well, it's obvious you're not proud of it or nothing.
No, I've only been.
There wasn't one time I saw you in the office yesterday without it.
Yeah,
That thing
it's-
traveled with
Did
you.
you
Well,
sleep
it,
with
it
it last
turned
night?
out. It
That's the
turned out
convenience
really
of the
nice.
folder. You
Yeah.
carry it around in the office. Doesn't hit
Put
on
it-
cubicles. Nothing.
Yeah, he got a holster for it, wears it on his hip. Big and Ritchie
Yeah.
carrying the big iron.
Yeah, put my
That's
Mark
funny.
IV loophole on there, and it turned out slick. Pressure on it, of course.
Barrel's nice and short.
20 inches. Yep.
Yep. So that did turn out really nice. Kind of a perfect, and we're all kind of varmint guys, but you're one of the resident coyote guys. That's a great little coyote rig.
Yeah, 100 grain ELD VTs out of a factory loaded 6.5 Creedmoor out of it. It'll be awesome.
Yep.
Shooting laser beams.
So what's happening now with the new match rig? Because you just tore your PRS gun apart.
Yeah, so I'm gonna I've got a Samson from Foundation on order. You know, the micarta with all the weights in it and everything.
baby.
And
Color.
I just went natural.
Micarta.
Natural. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
natural
Well, they got a
micarta.
dark one.
They
got a
do.
light
They
one.
do.
got
But
a
I just
distress.
wanted I like that natural wood look, I guess. So the Centurion grip, so the more vertical grip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Which is weird because my kids go to school and their mascot is the Centurions.
yeah. And it's going to be a 6.5 Creedmoor, but I'm going to build it on an impact action. You know,
You're getting a stock from Oklahoma?
getting an action from Oklahoma too. So
I love it.
Better get an Oklahoma barrel, too.
probably will.
Probably
Cripes.
will.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Yeah, well, that's a slick little setup you put together. And like you said, factory 100 grain VTs and that V-match line. Coyotes, look out. Going to be beautiful. Now, talking about coyotes, when I go to the great state of Wyoming, if I'm hunting deer, antelope, elk, prairie dogs, almost anything the state has to offer, I'm really there for coyotes. And I try not to let a deer or an antelope interfere with a good coyote hunt. Main man Judd here, you were just in Wyoming on a deer hunt. I'm guessing you guys saw some coyotes.
We were opportunists.
Yeah. But you called an audible. You know, we got all these cool guns. You're building a 22 Creedmoor right now, which we'll have on the show. Mark our words, one day,
Yeah, one day when it gets
a
done.
couple years.
maybe. Yeah.
Did he do a red 7 hot route?
Hot route.
I don't know what that means.
Go to the other
Just
side
go
of it.
say it over there.
Great movie.
I
Anyhow,
heard a comment just this morning. I went into the office. I forgot all the SD cards. Was reading comments. Somebody said, I really like this on the last At the Bench, mostly because you guys are talking crap in movie quotes.
yeah.
So here we
Yeah.
go.
That's actually the whole office. It's
Yeah.
just what we
Mhm.
do. Anyways, where I was going with that was, we've got the 7 PRC, the 22, the 25, all the ARC family, the PRC family, all the cool guns like Matt just put together. Old Jarzynka, he went from down under, scooped up the original 243 Winchester, your first hunting rifle.
Yep. As seen on the Hornady podcast, whatever episode that was.
something.
Yeah, there's an episode on it.
Well, and we did kind of what was that episode? It wasn't just about the rifle.
Was it?
It was
It was the
243,
243
and then
Winchester
we just had
podcast.
that, had that rifle there. But
So, for the listener, you could go back and check that one out. But Judd's first hunting rifle, bought here at Dubs or Dubes,
Sorry, yeah.
sporting goods store. That
If
is
you're
no
local,
more.
it was a legendary place.
Yeah.
It was.
Yep.
I've got a set of 44 mag reloading dies, Pacific Durachrome with the Dub sticker, $14.99 on them.
That's a deal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they were my uncle's.
Those are probably worth some money on the old electronic bay.
Yeah. Anyways, Judd, you go through. You get that rifle. Your dad talks you into you can't have a synthetic
Yeah.
stock. And then what happened to that rifle over the last 20 years, 25 years, and then what'd you do for it to get it ready to go on a hunt?
Yeah, so it just hasn't worked out that I truly haven't hunted with that rifle for 15 plus years. I truly haven't gone back to actually look, but it's been some years since I've even taken it out in the field. I think I brought it here for the podcast and we cleaned it and messed with it a little bit, but it's been years
Oh,
since
I
I've
think
even.
I do remember. us
What did it
cleaning
have
it.
on there
Yeah.
for a scope? Did it come with
It
it?
came with the old Simmons, the factory
3 to
Simmons.
9 by
Yeah.
40
It
probably.
was a great scope for its time, I imagine. but
Well, 15-year-old Judd probably killed everything you aimed at.
It was great. I don't even know what I've taken with that. A few deer and a few coyotes and whatnot. Yeah. And that was the thing. The guy sold me at the counter on the 243. Not only was I looking at a synthetic stock rifle, I think it was a Remington, and then this wood stocked Savage Model 10. Within that, then we were going to the 270 or the 243 was the big conversation. And just for what I wanted to do, we had a prairie dog town in one of our pastures at that time. So I wanted from prairie dogs to coyote to deer. and they talked me into the 243, and I'm sure glad they did because it's
I
been.
wish somebody would have done that to me when I bought my 270.
Yeah, yeah. It was a fun gun to shoot. Just so anyway, back up in the story, have the opportunity to go out to Wyoming and hunt whitetail, and there's been some folks from Hornady that hunted out there in the past, so I kind of got with them and talked through how the hunt went down and potential shot distances, which could have been far, but where they hunt the whitetails out there, they're kind of just condensed to a creek.
Well, yeah, it's mule deer country,
Yeah.
except that creek.
So you just kind of watch hay meadows and, a couple 100 yards, 250, fast forward in the story is what my shot ended up being. So it was a great opportunity to get that 243 out and shoot the new American whitetail tipped ammunition with the 95 grain SST in 243. So I re-scoped it. I have a Vortex
That's a
Viper?
Viper. I think just HS 2.5 to 10.
By 44.
by 44.
42 or 44.
I think it's 44.
Either way.
But-
nice scope.
It's
Used to live on a inline muzzleloader
Muzzleloader,
for me.
yep.
Yeah.
probably a great muzzleloader scope. It's got BDC reticle in
Oh,
there.
it was proven. Yeah, it was proven. I've taken multiple deer with my muzzleloader. With that
Oh, you
thing.
shot that stud whitetail on like December 31st
the
with
last,
your muzzleloader.
the last day, the last hour,
And that
the last
wide
minute.
antelope.
Yeah, I shot an
That'd have
antelope
been
with
5
that as
years
well.
ago.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Redefining varmint hunting and target shooting. The Hornady ELD VT. ELD VT bullets feature the heat shield tip, which resists the effects of aerodynamic heating. The lead core has been moved rearward, producing enhanced in-flight stability. AMP bullet jackets are used to ensure every ELD VT bullet performs at its peak potential. The dual-purpose bullet for varmint and target shooting. ELD VT bullets from Hornady.
So the scope's been proven, and you had a really high quality scope on your muzzleloader. You had I think we can say, economical scope that came with the 243 on there.
Yeah.
And you figured, hey, let me change this up a little bit.
Well, there was a minute, like, I just wanted to leave it in its current configuration and go with it. But just with not knowing shot distance, and I don't know, I kind of wanted to have fun with that scope. So then what I did, and I'm sure a lot of people do, threw that scope on the 243, and then I zeroed it, but then I paid more attention to the drop marks in my scope. I have is it the BDC?
Dead hold BDC.
Yep. So I paid more attention to the sub-tensions. Once I got it zeroed, did a quick BC forward off, the BC calculator in the forward off app with the 95 grain SST and the velocity, got some shots, and then kind of guesstimated my 200, 300, 400. And they were all pretty close from the start to those. I can't remember what the sub-tensions actually were, but they lined up pretty close to have a
I
close.
used to have them memorized.
Yeah.
But honestly, it works out. That's the beauty of those BDC reticles. It's like 1.5, 3.5 minutes, 7 minutes, 11 minutes is the post or something like that. And it works so well within 500.
Very similar to the podcast we released a few weeks ago, the Hunter Zero, talking about max point blank range, where you can use a BDC reticle like this.
You should have just left the Simmons on and listened to that podcast.
I guess so.
Well, but realistically, we do get so wrapped around the axle in this echo chamber of precision, huge sample size zeros, dialing a turret.
Well, he was shooting quarter minute.
When you're hunting and your maximum shot distance, maybe 350, maybe, and you have that good scope right there with the BDC reticle, you can make that thing work really well.
Yeah. So then, once I figured out how close I was on the BC side of the app, I went out and shot at distance and then made some tweaks to get as close as I could to have like a happy average, at my 100, 200, 300, 400 to have everything line up. And it ended up being, I don't know, I was an inch or so low at 100 or maybe a little more. But whatever, minute of deer is what I kept saying as I was shooting that. And, man, I got that thing hammer and steel with using those sub-tensions. It was pretty awesome. It was cool.
How far did you stretch it out?
400.
400.
Easy,
I mean, you're approaching quarter of a mile, right? And when you're shooting steel accurately at distances that you could measure in miles, like a quarter of a mile, it's pretty good. And I think you were impressed with how accurate that rifle actually was, because you probably didn't shoot groups that much growing up.
No, not at all. Yeah, it shot really good, and just the 243 was fun to shoot. Didn't beat you up. You could see your impacts. Even fast forward into the story, got an opportunity on a super nice buck out there, and was able to manage recoil, which has been I struggle with that, but shooting the 243, not much problem at all. I was actually to see that I was able to watch the impact on the deer, see his chest hit the ground, and then just start dozing, and he maybe made it 30, 40 yards and kind of sprawled out and stood for a second and then tipped over. So
I love it.
Yeah,
And
it was pretty
It
cool.
was shocking to me. We went to the range and did all that testing, and then you tested it more at home too. But when I shot it, I think I was shooting the 30-30 that day suppressed, and then I went over to this. Like, it's a 243, so yeah, there's not a whole lot of spank to it, but it's a woodstock pencil barrel,
Bare muzzle, no break,
like
no
bare
nothing,
muzzle, and it was just a joy to shoot. It was amazing. I was shocked.
and shot well. That's just great.
Yeah, it shot good. So it was cool. Yeah. Long story short, was able to take a nice buck out there with a rifle that I've had for years, and I don't know, have a lot of memories with that rifle. Went to town with my dad, who's not a hunter, at least a big game hunter, so we were kind of just throwing darts at the board, and luckily the gentleman behind the counter talked us into this rifle, and yeah, definitely one I'll never let go of.
And put another notch in the stock.
Yeah.
I think a really cool part of that story is you and our buddy Cody, you're looking at deer, and, you hunt for 4 days, and you're bouncing around in the cab, and you're hiking around looking up little different fields and meadows and stuff. And, okay, well, we better go have a look at that one. And then when you see that one, you got to tell the listener how that all went down, because I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah. So there was a group of guys out there hunting. There was 4 of us, and the other 3 on the trip were shooting 22 Creedmoor. That, holy cow, did they perform awesome. Everybody put great shots on deer, which, I mean, the shootability of the 22 Creedmoor is top notch. Everybody was able to make great shots and get their deer down. Just so happened that I ended up being the last one to tag out. Everybody else went and blasted prairie dogs for the whole rest of the afternoon. And me and Cody went out looking for a deer, and we were chasing this nice 4x4 around. I mean, 120-inch deer, nice Wyoming deer, but he had width. So every time you could pick him out of a crowd pretty easily. So we were chasing that deer around earlier in the trip, and he wasn't giving us much opportunity, so nobody was able to get him down. We saw him that afternoon, clear down in one side of the hayfield at half a mile or 3/4 of a mile from us. And we watched him for a little while. Are you sure that's him? Yeah, I think it's him. So we decided, well, let's go take a closer look. So we were going after this deer. And on our move over there, just a slammer runs out in front of us, a Wyoming slammer. And all the other deer we saw were kind of, he's pretty good.
You're talking yourself into it.
You kind of had to talk yourself into it. We saw this deer, and both of us at the same time, that's the one. So, yeah, long story short, we made the move on him. Cody gave him the old coyote howl as the deer was down in the hay meadow, and 240-ish yards away. I like to say he was 243, but
yeah.
We don't really know. The last range we had on him was 240, and then
if you don't know, then it was exactly 243.
243. But anyway, then put a nice shot on him using the subtensions, which was really cool, and I was surprised in myself that I was able to stay calm and kind of work through this is where I need to hold, whatever, and made an awesome shot and got that deer down, and then, got up to him. And I should have brought him here because he was super cool.
We had it. Yeah.
He's in the office already, but.
Yeah, well, for the listener, he's got G2s that just.
They're a foot long G2s.
Yeah.
12-inch G2s, and his frame, big basket comes around, and his main beams overlap.
Yeah.
By like an inch and a half.
Yeah. First one I've ever seen that had crossing beams like that. And he never looked at us until the coyote howl, and at that point, I'm in the mode, so I didn't register to me. We didn't see that he had crossing beams until we walked up to him. Like, holy
you just saw
cow.
Excalibur-sized G2.
Yeah, and it was sweet. I mean, I think he was 137 inches if you're into that, which was
for a 4x4,
yeah,
and symmetrical.
Yeah. But he was definitely on another level for the deer we saw out there. And the biggest thing, Cody, who runs the outfit out there, his reaction during the whole sighting and then trying to get on him and whatnot, he was so amped up. And then post shot, I've known Cody, fortunately now, for a chunk of years here and there, have the opportunity to go out there. I've never seen him like this. He was like a little kid, fist pumping and hooping and hollering. Yeah. And I was excited too, but then looking over and seeing him just took it to a whole nother level. It was pretty cool. It was just a classic hunt that I've hunted alone a lot too, and hunting alone is great. I enjoy it. It's sweet.
Yeah, I think a guy should do both.
When you throw a friend in there or a group or whatever, holy cow, is it just something else? Not only to just in that moment with Cody, we actually kind of did it together. He stopped it, he ranged, I shot, whatever. We kind of did that together, and then call over the whole group of guys that was out shooting prairie dogs and get the whole group there on the recovery. It's just it was pretty awesome trip.
I'm getting excited for our upcoming deer camp because, just that is fun. And the 243, blowing the cobwebs out, getting the new scope mounted up, seeing that not only has it been effective for you for all those years, but it actually shoots really well for a factory-built rifle. That's pretty impressive. And with the new American Whitetail tipped 95 SST.
That was my first critter with the SST, other than the muzzleloader bullet. Yep. But yeah. That's the first thing I've shot with.
We've been running interlocks, American Whitetail, out of it beforehand.
Yes. Yep. 100 grain. Yep. That's right.
BTS.
There's nothing wrong with a 95 grain SST. They're so long and they get their flat base.
Yep.
They just do
shoot
so well.
Great.
There's no better time to stock your reloading bench and light up your range with Hornady Get Loaded Plus. New this year, free bullets or free cases when you buy these select Hornady reloading tools. Plus, receive the free HIT Target Impact Indicator. Hornady Get Loaded Plus. Free bullets, free cases, free HIT Target Impact Indicator. Get loaded and light it up with Hornady Get Loaded Plus. Limitations apply. Visit Hornady.com/getloaded2025 for further details.
Preston, over to you now. You've been doing some tinkering.
Always tinkering.
Well, you're always tinkering. Actually, you're the really real gunsmith, as it turns out. Everybody brings everything into you. You got a stack of barrels for every conceivable bore diameter. Cartridges.
Not quite enough yet.
Turns out that's where I got my
was
barrel
say,
out of that stack.
Matt was looking for a barrel for that action. Well, let's see what Preston's got.
I had 3 options for it.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Well, how many of those do you need?
At least
one more.
Yeah.
That's true. So you're always tinkering with something. You're always helping trigger jobs, optics, bore scope, and just about anything.
That's true.
What's been on your bench here recently?
You know what's funny is normally about this time I normally have put on a dozen scopes, pre-rifle season. That hadn't really happened this year.
Nope.
Which is kind of odd, but whatever. I don't want to update too much on the Wildcat series.
Oh yeah.
But I did get the 257 Bob AII ready for deer season.
Well, that new optic.
Yeah, went ahead and put a Mark 5 3.5 or just 3?
3.6.
3.6 to 18, of course.
Yeah.
Very technical.
Yeah.
Put that on there, and then I worked up some hand loads. Last the listeners heard, I was running them pretty slow.
Yeah. Modest.
Very modestly. Switched powders. You ever heard of this one? Hodgdon's H4831.
Oh, yeah. The classic. I mean, that is the powder. Yeah. That was really one of the founders of the feast as far as propellants go. Post-World War II, you got propellant available. They had H4831 available literally by the freight train load.
Yep. Turns out I found some better velocity. I'm certainly not at the top end yet, though. Running the 128 grain ELDX for this year's hunting season with a modest charge of that H4831. Running I did switch primers over too. I was running CCI 200s. Now I'm running BR4s. Not sure if that'll make much. BR2s.
Yeah,
sorry.
the bench rest primer.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, nothing but match.
No, it's just what I had open.
Oh,
in the cabinet. But 2814 is going to be my average for this season.
128 grain ELDX doing 2814
out of a 20-inch barrel. So extrapolate that out of a 24.
2900.
2914.
Yeah.
That's not so bad.
No, I think it's great.
go a little bit higher, but my charge rate is a super round number, and
Easy
I
to
like
remember.
that.
Yeah, it's easy.
I like that a lot.
Now, why'd you switch optics? Because you had a VX5 on there, great scope.
Yeah.
What prompted the move?
You know what? If I would have built it on a short action, not that it would have worked.
Yeah.
It would have been fine.
The VX5 would have worked great.
Been fine. But I had those tally rings on there. Not that that really matters either.
You like
but
to keep it low.
the spacing between my optic mounts was so much. Like, it's huge, because that same exact action with a proper bolt could handle a 300 PRC.
Yeah.
At 3.7 inches. So there's a bunch of space in between, and I couldn't get that VX5 back far enough where I really, really had ideal eye relief.
Not enough scope tube.
So just tried something different.
Yeah, put a rail on it.
I did put a
And
rail
rings,
on
you
it.
can move that whole system back the 3/4 of an inch or so that it needed.
Yep, and I could put any optic on there now that I really want. It's just that easy. Instead of at the time I was relegated to the only pair of tallies that I had, which was 30 millimeter. So I'm able to do a bunch of things now.
So you're ready for Nebraska rifle season.
Ready and able. It's gonna have to be really big for me to shoot it.
Oh,
You heard it here
Whitetail
first.
elitist story.
Yeah,
here,
it's
yeah.
got to be really big.
I got beef in the freezer. I got an elk in the freezer.
Oh.
The freezer's full.
Turns
Yep.
out the first dominant mature 4x4 that steps out is probably going to
Well,
get one in the
if
pump
he's got a
house.
gnarly look to him, and if he's dogging another buck, I'll feel bad and I'll have to take him out.
Yeah, we don't need no bullies out here.
No.
Well, let's not gloss over the fact that you've been getting a pistola ready.
Yeah. Yep.
Mike Whitey Jensen's been on the podcast a lot,
Yeah.
talking
he's-
all things pistol,
Hate to say it. Happy to say it. He's the inspiration.
Oh,
like the
wasn't
Chicago
me?
song.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Judd.
I was hunting bear with one. And
You did.
That's right.
You did get a bear.
Mm.
I hunted a bear with one.
I did
Yeah.
get a bear before Mike Jensen got a bear, but then he ended up going grizzly
You
bear.
got a-
Yeah,
I think he
yeah.
might. He won up me just a little bit.
Yeah,
well,
just a
only
little
by
bit.
like 800 or 900 pounds.
Yeah. Well, the black bear I shot kind of had that color to it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
color face.
So,
But I got the Taurus Raging Hunter in the 454 Casull
Mm,
and
big.
got that dialed in. Put a Vortex Crossfire red dot on it. I wanted to put a scope on it,
I would too.
but I got the shorter barrel, so I don't have a lot of rail, for like scope mounts. So went with a red dot, shot it down in the lab. Shot
25
11
yards.
shots the other day.
Ouch.
Ouch! That's the most I've ever shot in one sitting with it. But got her dialed in, at 25 yards on the short side. Shot a 2.5 inch group,
Okay.
and then haven't practiced anymore since.
But it's ready. Now,
But it's ready.
what are you doing with it? You're just going to have it?
Yeah, that's right.
So
if something's
that giant
silly
chest
enough.
rig.
Yeah.
Chest rig,
So the way I hunt rifle season where I go is typically I will just there's big oak draws deep sometimes.
Yeah, big pasture and then big oak draws.
So I like to find where there's a gap in the oaks, where I can actually see, and I sit up on top of the hills in the big blue stem and the little blue stem, the native grass.
It's good grass.
So the chances of one walking by me as I'm anticipating them walking, 200 yards down that way is pretty rare. But I'll have it with me. Just
But it
in
has
case.
happened. You almost got attacked one time.
Well, one year they was running amok.
Mm-hmm.
It was peak of the rut. Holy cow!
He shot one at like 5 yards.
Oh, well, that was yeah. But I mean, there has been times when literally I'm sitting on this hill and they're just running around me constantly, in the open, wind's blowing right at them. They're just doing crazy things.
I love it.
I would love for that to happen again.
Yeah.
Because my nephew's coming on this hunt.
And
I'd
as
like him to get a good deer.
must have a good scent elimination regimen.
None.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. You know what you know what it is? Poached eggs, bacon, coffee in the
Well,
morning.
that's after we get back.
Oh.
We have an egg bake. Great food down at deer camp. Holy cow.
Yeah. Well, I hope you do get an experience like that. We've been talking amongst ourselves for the recording that as a whole, our deer numbers are really, really low, as they seem to be. And they've been on a downward trend. And we don't, even on our good years, we don't have a lot of deer in Nebraska anyway. But I still think it's going to be a good year. At a minimum, we'll be out there with some good friends having a good time.
Judd and I were listening to the Hunt Nebraska podcast, which is done by, I believe, the Nebraska Game and Parks. And one of the experts was on there, and he said there's 3 units in southeast Nebraska that numbers are the same or better. Everywhere else is down.
Yep.
So, the unit I'm hunting is in southeast Nebraska. So, hopefully it's pretty good stuff.
I believe it.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. You know, we all hunt the rest of the part of the state.
Yeah.
Numbers are low. Where Preston hunts, you know, he just maybe doesn't get it done quite as good as us.
Yeah. Well,
Something like that.
he's growing them for next year. I'll say this, though, despite the numbers and what everybody has to say, my old man, he harpooned one with a bow here earlier in November. Nice buck. And then one of his good friends, I sent it to you guys this morning, one of his good friends killed another really nice archery buck just last night.
I barely glanced at it. Had a horse long face.
Big.
Just,
yeah.
So he's old.
If the numbers are down, you know, in some areas, they're still reaching good mature age, and that's great to see.
Yeah.
So from the bench, for me, I haven't been doing a darn thing. We've outlined my son's rifle, so he'll be shooting that, and that's all put together, ready to go. I will not be shooting anything this
Well,
rifle
I don't
season.
think you really outlined that.
I did.
No, you did. You did.
Yeah.
But I remember you said he was practicing with 95 grain VTs.
Yep.
Will he be shooting like just Precision Hunter 128s?
Precision Hunter factories. We shot it
Factory,
last
okay.
night. Actually, what we did last night, got home from work, I set the blind up in the pasture, got the chair, what I'm using is a tripod, go figure, with a tack table, and then, swat-ow, big old 8-pound sandbag right on there. And Brock can wiggle that gun into the sandbag, because this is how he learned to shoot, was shooting a 22 off our back deck with a heavy sand-filled sandbag on the railing of the deck. He wiggles it in, and then he just leans into it, and I taught him how to brace on the bridge of the scope there, and that's how he learned to shoot. So from the blind, first time he ever saw the blind that we're going to hunt out of, which is yours, unzip the window, put the tripod with the tack table and the sandbag up, bagged the gun in, and he wiggled up there in the seat, and he dry fired 4 or 5 times. That feels pretty good, Dad. Great. Let's let her eat. Put a round in. Missed.
Oh.
He just gets real shaky as you do, when you got a live round in there. And so we, pulled the round out, went through a couple more dry fires, and then had him work on just pulling his shoulder off the rifle. When you're shooting from that position, if you really shoulder the gun, you've got a very small window where you're real stable, and then your breathing and your jitters will really influence it. So we pulled his shoulder off the gun a little bit. He threw a round in, worked on his breathing, worked on the follow-through, centered up. So he's excited. I'm excited. The gun's ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yep. The only thing,
forgot.
Yeah.
Sorry to jump in. I also got a Manners PH.
Preston.
Just yesterday.
Yeah.
So, we're shaking stuff up. You are
I'm
really
also
shaking stuff.
Well,
fill us in, because this was 22 Creedmoor. It's been on the show.
Well, we were shooting 22 at the house the other day. Same one that you borrowed.
Yep.
But I threw my suppressor on it, and it's quiet. So that's why I feel okay shooting it at the house. I'm in the country, but I do have some neighbors, and I just wanted it to be quiet. At the range, there was a couple bulls, a Hereford and an Angus. So I didn't want to, we just left and didn't shoot up there.
Yeah, because for the listener, a couple miles from your house, you've got a nice draw that one's up, and you leave your steel out there. Now it's your neighbor's property, and you run some cows out there. So when it's open, you can go shoot your steel.
Yeah. And he said you can run them off whenever you want. I don't want to run them off.
I wouldn't either. They're faster than me.
Well, they're bigger, too.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Well.
Slightly than me.
What Matt and I usually do at our range, we just tie them down off to the side.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, Matt bulldogs them. Judd comes in with the rope.
Time.
Yeah.
Matt's probably got his horse in his back pocket. Let me get that for you.
All right, so you're
So we shot off the tripod with that. It's a Bergara B14R. Shot off the tripod. The length of pull on it is pretty long on that rifle. I have it set up for me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, my youngest was like near the back of the stock, trying to look through the scope, and obviously the eye relief wasn't correct.
Right.
So I said, hey, I've got a Manners DH1, short length pole. Used to belong to Miles Neville.
Yep.
So it's short.
not even here to defend himself.
Yeah, but anyway, wanted to put the Bergara B14R in that Manners shorter stock, so I ordered a PH. I did end up getting the B14R barreled action into the Manor stock last night after a host of infinite axis milling.
Yep. That's a Dremel. By the
Because
way.
yeah, it's a Dremel. Because it was bedded for an Origin with a Hunt's long range TL3 lug.
Yep.
So the lug area was very small.
Yep.
Probably should have blocked that off. In hindsight, I may do that in the future, but eventually got it in, right? On the bottom was West Texas Ordnance M5 bottom metal.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
And I said, well, I'll just use that on the PH for now. Great, good, wonderful. I go to grab the B14 bottom metal and put it in the Manor's EH1.
Not going to happen.
That ain't going to work. Although it takes an AICS magazine and looks M5-ish. That's all it is M5-ish.
Yep.
So, called up my buddy, Hawkins Precision, got another one coming. I was like, because I just ordered one for Judd, because Judd's in the process of building a rifle too.
Judd's been.
We need to outline that.
Judd has been. The whole rifle's here. It needs a bottom metal.
Yeah.
And Uncle Larry sells them right there on the Midway
Well, there's
USA.
a lot of options out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
he knew what he wanted. He figured out what he wanted. They were out of stock for the longest time.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? Let me just make a call. Got all that figured out. But anyway, eventually I put the West Texas Ordnance, because it does hang down a little bit. It's got like a magazine well.
Mhm.
You know, it used to
Yeah.
belong to you.
It was mine. Yeah.
It was in a stock that you had, and he had, and John had, and Jacob had.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, got that all put together. The 22's good to go. Now I'm just waiting on Hawkins short action hunter bottom metal for the PH,
Beautiful.
which the Origin will go into with the 20-inch 22 Creedmoor with the Ultra 7, and we'll go get some coyotes.
Yep.
That sounds great. I love it.
The Hornady Rapid Safe Keypad Vault offers quick, dependable access to your firearm while providing security from unauthorized users. The Rapid Safe Keypad Vault is constructed of a heavy-duty 14-gauge steel housing and thick steel lid for tamper-proof security. The included RFID watch band tag and RFID decal can be selectively programmed to open this safe and any other Rapid Safe you own. The Rapid Safe Keypad Vault from Hornady Security.
What I've been doing from the bench, since I haven't really been doing anything,
About 225
Neil
reps.
Neil Davies, our marketing director, he ordered in the Manor's PH folder because everybody wants one of those things. It's for lightweight backcountry DIY enthusiasts. This is the stock. You know, if you're not into chassis, this is the folding stock to get. It's fantastic. Anyway, he ordered one in, and he didn't order it with a flush cup on the bottom of the stock. They put them on the sides of the stock, but not right on the bottom. So he left that stock with me. He took off on a business trip over to Germany. So he left it with me. And someday, what is today? Thursday? Tuesday, we took her out to the Love Shack. And that's one of the things that I really, really like about working at Hornady, small family-owned company, and then also being an enthusiast of guns and building stuff and put stuff together. We have a lot of Bridgeport mills, and I can just go to the Love Shack and set the mill. Yeah, set up the mill, and I really enjoy just taking your time, getting everything level and square, and finding the center and drilling out and installing a flush cup. Really nothing to it. Takes you longer to set up the mill and find the center of that bottom portion. And then you just drop a 1/2-inch end mill in there. I tap it, even though it's kind of foam, but the shell is pretty thick. I still tap it. And then we use those GovTech limited rotation flush cups for almost everything. I've got a drawer full of them.
The GovTech or GroveTech?
GroveTech. Well, whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, and then good old JB Weld. Mix up the epoxy.
From the Harbor Freight.
No, I bought the big ones. Going to the Love Shack, we have huge JB Weld.
From JB himself.
Yeah, JB sent them over. Yeah, got that at the Menards. Anyways, and then I thread it and epoxy that in place.
11% rebate.
Of course. And just put in a flush cup. And it's nice having the tools and having a company that's okay with, hey, after hours, you need to put on an Arca rail or a flush cup, or if you need to do some mill work for a recoil lug or whatever it may be, you have the tools to not just do it, because you could do that with a hand drill. You do it with a drill press.
You've
But
done a lot
I
of
do it with a
Dremel,
hand drill.
Dremel work.
Yeah.
Hand-
I just
hand
feel
drill,
like
Dremel, you
we
bet.
have a mill, we have the tools to do it right. We can just do it right. And I enjoy doing that.
Calibrated eye.
Yeah. So from my bench, that's really all I've been doing is really focused on Brock's rifle. And then I drop that flush cup in there for Neil. I've got almost nothing else. I'm really looking forward to doing some varmint hunting. The old man, he retires here in about 30 days. His 22 arc that I put together for him, it's dialed in.
You got a muzzleloader hunt coming up.
I do. Yep. Can't talk necessarily about those products quite yet from a variety of factors. I can tell you that we're using Hornady Bore Driver ELDX.
And it's a
Bullets.
muzzleloader hunt.
And it's a muzzleloader
That's
hunt,
great.
but the actual muzzleloaders themselves working with another company in the industry for this hunt, so it should be pretty cool.
But that's a Sandhills
Oh,
trip.
it's
Beautiful
Sandhills trip.
country.
It's where when I die, if I go to heaven, I'll end up out in the Sandhills. That's where heaven is.
With no people.
Yeah, there is no people. It's great.
Well, even less people.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really looking forward to that camp. And that hunt is exactly 30 days from now. So 30 days from now, we'll be out there glassing for bucks, telling stories, movie quotes.
Whitetail or mule deer.
It's whitetail or mule deer. That's one of the beautiful things about Nebraska. Yeah, really looking forward to that. And, we're hosting a whole mess of hunters down near the southwest corner of the state, just north of Kansas on a lease. Got some outdoor writer journalists coming up. A YouTube channel that's going to film a video out there. Got mule deer out there, as it turns out.
Can't shoot them there.
Can't shoot them.
No.
You can look at them.
Unless you applied for a certain tag and got it drawn.
I wouldn't burn it in that area.
Turns out there's mule deer there.
Well, I wouldn't shoot the ones we've got on camera.
No, but one was pretty shocking to see.
It was.
Going through the camera and you're like, "Ugh,
That's mule deer
that ain't right.
on the river. Yeah.
They're taking it back.
Yeah, they are. Tells me that the whitetail aren't in there very much because generally, at least in our area, I know in like Wyoming, they seem to play nice a little bit. Judd, you probably saw that on the creek, but I feel like in Nebraska, if you're near the river, if there is mule deer there, that means there's not a lot of whitetail because the whitetail seem to be a little bit more dominant.
Yeah, we saw a few intertwangle, but
See any
Yeah.
hybrids?
no. And I asked Cody about that, and he said he's never seen one that he could for sure say was.
Mhm.
I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
No, we saw a few, but they kind of each minded their own. They're just kind of in separate areas.
So is there anything else on your guys' bench that you're going to be working on here between now and then?
I will say on the Ruger American Predator side of things,
We've overlooked it.
We should just have a Ruger American Predator update with
So
Judd.
no.
let's
Weekly.
there's not a whole lot of.
Ruger, if you're listening, if you want to have just like a once a week episode where Judd dives into the Ruger American, let us know. And hey, this is unrelated, but to the Ruger American, did you see Ruger announced a Ruger American 338 ARC?
That's awesome.
If
did
I
not
had
see that.
one,
That's
I would have
fantastic.
got a deer tag this year, and I'd definitely be shooting a whitetail. with that.
Short barrel too,
Yeah,
right?
short
16 and a half or
Yep.
16, yeah.
So
I saw
Judd,
that.
fill us in on Ruger American because this is happening right now.
So yeah, Courtney, my wife, I don't know why,
My
but
wife.
we haven't got her
Very
a rifle
nice.
tag in quite a while. So she has a rifle tag this year. She has a 6 Creedmoor in the Gen 1 Ruger American Predator Edition.
Kind of like the second generation of the Gen 1 with the AI magazine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. We did do the mag update on that. What else? She's got a Thunder Beast Ultra 5 on the end of that.
She knows how to shoot.
Timney trigger.
Who
It
put the trigger?
It does have a
Trying to
Timney
think of what
trigger on
else.
there.
Who
And
put the
it's
trigger in?
light.
The really real guns.
Yeah, the gunsmith over here did. So anyway, long story short, since we haven't had a rifle hunt for her in potentially ever that I can think of with that rifle, she's been shooting 108s. We've been shooting a lot of steel, shooting prairie dogs, whatnot. I wanted to get her switched over to the 103 ELDXs. So we went out to the range the other day and got some more ammo and shot and didn't have to move it much. And that thing shoots.
Oh,
Took
we
her out
should
to 600
probably
yards.
do a from the bench, at the bench range report. Thing shot well at 600 yards. Ruger
Yeah.
American Predator with factory 103 ELDX. Covered a koozie almost.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's nuts. So what kind of hunt are you guys doing? Is at home around the farm and ranch, or is this going out
That's a
west
secret.
pounding on public, or what do you, a little bit
All
of both?
of the above.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
we're
got
going to
the
be equal
golden ticket.
opportunists. So, yeah, she has the statewide buck tag, the archery version. Or no, sorry, she has the statewide buck whitetail version, not
Okay.
archery.
So you can hunt the whole state, but it's got to be a
Got to
whitetail.
be a whitetail buck. So, yeah, I don't know. We've got access to some ground. I would say none of it is super great, but a lot of things happen during the rifle season where deer move around. So,
You just got to be out there.
yeah, I think we're going to start opening day on public land to give that a shot, and then see where we end up for there. Yeah, we have around our house. There's potential that a deer could be there. You know, you never know.
They are where you'll find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find them where they're at, says my dad.
So yeah, other than opening day, we're going to give it a shot on public, I think. Other than that, no plan. We will go with the flow, as I think most folks do.
Well, and I just thinking about that hunt, you've got the whole entire state. You've got a plethora of knowledge from your own experience compounded by everybody else that's hunted the public land that Nebraska has. So you kind of have an idea of where to go, what to look for. And then you've got a kid on the horizon. But right now you've got nothing at home outside of your cattle, which are probably on the corn stalks. Make sure everything's got food and water, and you're out. You can go wherever you want. And that ability to go, oh, well, I was here, and it's overhunted. There's no deer. It was overgrazed or whatever. Oh, okay. Well, just go over there, and you can try that other spot. And you just bounce around from motel to hotel to house to tent to whatever. You got the whole state. You got 9 days to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see where it takes us, but yeah.
Well,
surely it'll probably be, I don't know, first 15 minutes of opening day, we'll probably be done,
You'll have
tacked
it.
out with a
Yeah.
big old booner.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. I hope so. I mean, Courtney's been on a tear.
Yeah, she
with the
has.
bow anyway.
Yeah. We've had good luck, and that's I think my hunting potentially for the year is done. We had good luck in antelope season and came home with 2 antelope bucks, and now I just got a whitetail buck in Wyoming, and now we're hunting for another one, and yeah, I think
Freezer's going to be full.
freezer is full.
Oh, yeah.
If we get another one, yeah, I think we'll be done for the year, which will be just great. But
I love it. Anything else on the bench, fellas?
You know what's better than one antelope buck?
Two.
Two in the
Yeah.
freezer.
yeah,
I just got my antelope back. The meat, Judd brought it home for me from Wyoming, and it's so disheartening. It's like, oh my goodness, where's the rest of it?
No.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, and I had almost the entire thing ground into 2-pound packages because I eat a lot of ground meat, and it's like there's not much there. And brings me to my last point for the show. We'll wrap it up with this. Preston, you knocked down an awesome Colorado 6-point elk. Pow! Got him. He's home in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
If there was ever a doubt in anyone's mind if elk or antelope is better, you're eating this elk right now.
There is no doubt. It is concrete, folks.
Jury's
I
in.
don't understand the folks that'll say an elk is better than an antelope. And we all agree at this table. I don't know why you're putting this solely on me.
Well, because you said, we got those elk steaks out tonight. And then the next day you come back like,
no.
wow.
It's tough, right? Certainly edible. There's a lot of good meat on it. I've got a lot of it ground,
Yeah.
But, a big old backstrap, on a whitetail or an antelope, you're like, heck yeah, let's do it up.
I'm going to butterfly these babies.
This
cook
one's
'em.
like, I'm going to need to get a little creative.
we
Pretty tough.
We had antelope backstrap 2 nights ago on the old pellet grill.
Mm.
It's really hard to beat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if
It's
people
crazy.
think I'm overcooking it and that's what's making it tough, knock it off. It was perfectly medium rare.
Yeah, this man knows how to cook. Great blade skills. Could do all kinds of cool stuff, laying
Andy
them out.
with the steel.
One of the only guys I know that's got one of the sous vide machines there.
Oh, yeah, he'll sous vide
Sous
some
vide?
Is that what you say?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Sous vide?
stuff.
Yeah.
Sous vide. Yeah.
I suppose I could try that. I haven't done it in a while. A lot of times we'll do it if something's frozen and we're kind of running out of time. That'll really speed up the
The thawing.
thawing
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Thawing.
Yeah.
I think that's the freezer.
Yeah. Matt, anything left on your bench?
No, man, I'm just waiting for this weekend. So So
Ready for some coyotes to get laid down.
Yep.
Beautiful.
You hand loaded a mess for the PRS finale though
Yeah.
recently.
The 153A tips, man, they just work.
Did you have H4350
I
in
sure
there?
did.
I bet
A
you
very
did.
specific
Kinda
load.
knew it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
Everybody knows.
Then you won that event, right?
Well, in my own, in my own circle, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Circle of one.
Yep.
One man wolf pack. All right, guys. Well, these, at the bench episodes are a lot more relaxed. We're just kind of meandering around through the conversation about what we're working on. Nothing super crazy yet, but the listeners probably heard the illusion of, hey, we've got Judd's 22 Creedmoor build coming up. That bottom metal shows up. Our friends over at Hawkins going to facilitate
It'll look like nothing you've seen on this channel before.
That's true. Matt, I know you're always working on stuff. So as we progress through the season into that coyote, you get after the month of December and it is just on. We'll probably do some podcasts dedicated to that. And I know you guys are going to keep tinkering. So let's get back to the shop. Keep the tinkering going on. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, and a little teaser. We've got a very prolific coyote hunter going to be in the house here. You'll probably see that early December.
And that's a pretty bold claim with Matt Ritchie and I sitting over here.
Yeah.
Well, you're already here.
This
is a
to our
guest.
face.
Yeah.
You guys
You'll
aren't
said
guests.
it, so.
You're on the podcast.
You will be on the podcast for sure. Looking forward to it, guys. Again, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for just, working on stuff because it makes a podcast recording easy.
So hopefully people enjoy it.
Yep. Awesome, guys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you do enjoy it. If you like these kind of episodes, let us know. This is the second installment from At the Bench. We really enjoy doing them. We're always tinkering on something, and hopefully you learn something or it simply inspires you to go through your gun safe and start tinkering on something too. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.